Good morning. Today we are talking about John C. Reilly's drum solo at the end of the movie Step Brothers. In a previous video I mentioned that this solo was faked, and I was berated in the comment section. All of you guys seem to be so certain that he did not fake it. He actually played the drums in that video. Well, I have news for you. He faked it. And I'm going to prove it in this video with science, facts, and logic. Wow, that was a really hard drum solo, and remember, I don't even play the drums. I play the drums. There's a big difference. Also, this was the hardest thing I've ever transcribed in my entire life. Normally when you're transcribing a drum solo video, you want to watch the video and see what drums are being played. But remember, John C. Reilly's not actually playing the drums, and I'm going to prove that in a second. But yeah, I had to go off of the audio for the whole thing, which sounds like this. Yeah, good luck figuring out what's going on in there, but I think I did a pretty darn good job spending the time and figuring it out. So how do I know that John C. Reilly didn't actually play it? Well, on most news articles it says that he did play the drums, which technically isn't lying. Yes, clearly John C. Reilly, he is sitting at a drum set for this movie, and he is playing that drum set. But the question is what we're hearing in the movie what he was playing? Or was it overdubbed with a bunch of cuts to make it look like he was playing it? In this article I found here, theconsequenceofsound.net, they interviewed John C. Reilly and asked, did you really play the drums in Step Brothers? And he answered, yeah, not very well, but I played the drums. So he says he didn't play the drums well, but what we hear in this drum solo is really, really good. Like, all these notes are incredibly clean. So based on his answer there, I think it's safe to say that he is admitting to not actually playing what we are hearing. He also mentions that he played drums in one of his other movies entitled Georgia. And I mean, watching him play this drum solo, it looks like he does have some drum experience, so that makes a little bit of sense there. So a few things that made me suspicious while watching this drum solo was, one, they didn't show his feet at all. And for this kind of a drum solo with all of this double bass drum footwork, it's pretty surprising that if he was actually playing those notes that they wouldn't, show it. But that doesn't necessarily prove anything. So okay, I got my video of me playing it with him up once again. I'm just gonna start at the top, and then when I see an inconsistency, I'm gonna pause and explain. Stop! Yeah, you could hear very easily that the very first note he plays is a cymbal crash. If you watch my screen, you can see when I play that cymbal there, it moves around quite a bit. If you watch John C. Reilly's screen, none of his cymbals are moving at all, indicating that he did not play any of them. Yep, these are those kind of cuts that make it look like something happened, when nothing actually happened. Oh, there it is again. Yeah, you can see if I slow it down, he's playing that ride cymbal, lots and lots of notes right there, and then when we cut to the next clip, ride cymbal is not moving at all. If you watch my ride cymbal, we got some shakes, and then it is still shaking. It's kind of being blocked by the crash cymbal, but you can see it. And then also, right when we made that cut there, watch where his hands are. So his right hand is playing on the snare drum, like he is hitting a snare drum note at that exact time. Then we go to the next millisecond, and his right hand is on the floor tom now, magically. And yeah, pretty much every cut that goes from him playing to the next scene, you can see that, yeah, the hand position is just not the same, and when he's playing cymbals, they're not moving. However, that does not necessarily prove that he is fake playing. That just means that they made lots and lots of cuts to what he did play. The thing that is going to prove that what we are hearing is not what he's playing is if we really, really deeply analyze what drums he is hitting. So something that happens a lot in these drum solos are these twos, as in 2 notes on your hands and then 2 with your feet. And at the beginning there's a whole bunch of 30-second notes like that. So I want you to just watch this here. So if you watch me doing it for realsies, you'll notice that the sticks are like up in the air a lot of the time. That's because there's a lot of space in between when your hands hit, then your feet go, and then your hands hit again. So you'll be up here most of the time. If you watch John C. Reilly, his hands are moving a whole lot. Like he's playing a bunch of notes, and what we're hearing in the track are the twos on the hands plus the double kick. So there are definitely a lot of extra notes that we should be hearing that we aren't. Also, this part right here, watch what his hands are doing. Yeah, it goes by pretty quick, alright? Try to keep up. So if we slow it down, you can see that he is basically doing triplets between the floor tom and the snare drum. As in 3 notes on the floor tom, 3 notes on the snare drum, 3 notes on the floor tom, 3 notes on the snare. He does that, I think, 3 or 4 times. So this is what we hear in the movie. And here's what it should sound like in real life. Okay, so I'm gonna start the video right here. We're gonna play through one cut and then the next one. See if you notice something. Really pay attention. Did you notice? You probably didn't notice. So the way that John C. Reilly holds the drumsticks, he uses a very pinched grip in the front of his fingers, and then the rest of his fingers are kind of like hanging off of the stick like that. And that is how he plays the drums for this whole solo. Like, he uses a lot of like pinch in the front of the grip with very little back finger support. Except for right there. This one close-up of his hands, which has his face not in it. For this specific edit, his fingers are wrapped all the way around the stick. His hands are kind of turned in. He looks quite a bit looser and more natural moving around the kit. Just for this one part right there. And that is because I am pretty sure that there was a stunt double playing the drums for some of this. Most of these edits, they do show John C. Reilly playing, but I do think this is a different drummer in this one specific edit with the close-up on the hands without showing his face. Yeah, he just has like that really relaxed, you know, the look, like the way that a very experienced drummer would play on a drum kit. Whereas John C. Reilly, he looks a little bit stiff moving around. He's also pinching a lot in the front, which is a common thing for noob drummers, but he's an actor, not a professional drummer, okay? I mean, obviously he learned a little bit about drumming, which is definitely a good thing. And I appreciate you for that, John C. Reilly. Good job. I'm proud of you. Okay, so that's the end of this in-depth analysis video. Please let me know what you thought about it by composing a comment below, and also make sure that you click that subscribe button, ring that Liberty Bell, and click that like button. Also, a friendly reminder that the EMC Marching Madness contest is underway. The deadline to submit your video is coming up this weekend. Link is in the description for the details on how to enter. And also consider buying a custom t-shirt, such as this one. I will leave that link in the description. And have a good morning.